into our morning routine as a family. Today, Lisa always, of course, gets up first, wakes up in the morning, and she decided to get dressed. And then she walked towards the dresser and grabbed this, outfit that I never seen her wear before because she got it at a mall and she never wore it until now, which I'm very surprised. Then she went on over to the kitchen and she made breakfast for us, which I was very happy about because sometimes I make the breakfast, but she makes it today, so yeah. For today's breakfast, Lisa decided to grab some avocados and make me and her both avocados on toast. The toast was really good and crispy, and I really liked it. She made two for the both of us, and then she started heating up the baby's bottles because, of course, they have to drink out of a bottle, so yeah. So she started toasting the toast. This time it wasn't burnt because last time she burnt the toast, but luckily it didn't burn this time. And then Lisa starts to put the avocados on toast on the plates and place them on the table, and brings the baby's bottles as well. So she starts grabbing the bottles, turns off the heater for the bottles, and place them on the table. Lisa dropped the baby's bottle, but luckily it didn't spill, so that's alright. And to be honest, Lisa was kind of struggling to put the bottles on the table since we don't really have much space. But probably my next house, I'm going to add more space and a better table, maybe even. And then Lisa warms up Lila's baby bottle because she already warmed up Lily's that you saw earlier. So then in the other room, I wake up and I get out of bed. So once I start getting out of bed, I go towards the dresser and pick out some clothes to get ready for the day, of course, and dress up in. Put back my pajamas and my PJs, and I decided to go wake up Lila because I know that probably breakfast was ready since I smelled it from when I was asleep. That was what woke me up. So I woke up Lila, and she went down the slide, and then yeah. Then once Lila is down from the slide, I pick her up and told her that we needed to give her a little bit of a bath. So I went over to the bathroom and gave her a little bit of a bath. I put her pacifier on, near the sink of where the bathroom was. And while I was putting it down there, I started the water so then she could play with the bubbles a bit. And then I started to grab the shampoo and conditioner bottles, and I started putting some shampoo on her first, and then I put on some conditioner on her. And once she was all done putting on the shampoo and conditioner and all, I decided to pick her up and bring her right back to her room so then we can find some clothes for her to get dressed in. But before we put on her clothes, usually we would put some lotion, some baby lotion on her. So then once we put on the baby lotion, her skin would be smooth and soft. So yeah. And once she was finished with all of that, we went over to, I guess you can say her closet. I don't really know. Her clothes are just in a door. But anyways, we decided to pick out some clothes. And then once that was over with, we went over to the kitchen where Lisa prepared breakfast for us. We were actually shocked that she woke up pretty early to make it. So yeah, because at the time it was only like 10 o'clock. I put down Lila in her little high chair or whatever, and I go over to the elevator and I go down to go get Lily because Lily sleeps at the bottom. Well, not the bottom, but in downstairs, so I have to go get her. So yeah. But then, just as I was going to go get Lily, I saw that the bunnies didn't get their food or breakfast yet. So I quickly gave them their breakfast before I could get to Lily because they need to have their breakfast, of course, or else they're gonna starve, and we do not want that to happen. So I went over to each bunny's little drawer or whatever, and we got some carrots and grapes, and I still don't know what to name them or call them, of course. But yeah. But then I went over to the other bunny's drawer, and I went over and got her, I forgot what he was called. I think, I don't know, but I got her some of this. Then I got her some grapes as well. So yeah. And then once I got finished putting out the breakfast and food for the bunnies, I decided to go over to Lily and go wake her up. And then once she was awake, I decided to go change her diaper so it wouldn't be stinky, of course. Once I got finished changing Lily's diaper, I picked her up and I decided to go back into the elevator to go upstairs to the kitchen so then we can all eat breakfast because Lisa and Lila were waiting for us, so we had to hurry a little bit before breakfast gets cold since it was sitting on the table for quite a while now. And then I bring Lily to her little high chair and I let her sit down there. And then I went right back to where I was gonna sit. And me and Lisa decided to switch seats so then Lisa can feed Lila and I can feed Lily. First, we took away both their pacifiers so then we can, of course, feed them. We put the pacifiers back on the little shelf with all the other stuff and we started to grab the baby's food bowl and their spoons. And then we started feeding both Lila and Lily together. Then, once we were done feeding the babies their baby food, we decided to put the baby bowls back into the sink and bring the babies into Lila's room because Lila wanted to play with Lily. Then we started eating our own breakfast, which was avocados on toast. Then afterwards, we saw Lila and Lily playing together watching this YouTube channel called Linky Box, and I decided to tell Lisa that we should buy them the Linky Box plushies because they seem to really like them. So we went into my room and talked about it and discussed it, and Lisa thought it was a really good idea and they should get something. So then after our little discussion, I went downstairs into the living room and decided to order the plushie. A couple of days passed by and me and Lisa are just watching some TV, not until we heard the doorbell ring. So then I got up and I decided to go check it out if it was the plushies or if it was some mail or something. I went over to the door and then I opened it to go outside to see 2 boxes, which I knew were the plushies, so I decided to bring them inside of the house. Then, once I went back inside, I went back to the living room to place the packages down, and I called down the kids, both Lila and Lily, to come down to open their plushies that they didn't know that we ordered. And when Lila heard that she got a package, she was kind of surprised and shocked that someone would send her a package. And then Lila gave Lily to Lisa. She walked on over towards the couch. Lisa moved along with Lily, and Lila sat right next to me to open both the plushies. Once she saw them, she was so shocked and so surprised. She couldn't believe it. She started falling in love with it, and she started to love it, like, a lot. And then Lily, both her and Lila decided to go upstairs into Lila's room to play with the new plushies that they got.